Today we are going to learn chapter number 7, Changing Trends in Occupation. Occupation means a job, work or businesses. Occupation of villages. The occupation or job or work or businesses done by the people living in village. What is a village? Village is a place where population density is very less and the people living in the village were mostly involved in primary sector activities like agriculture, animal husbandry, mining, fisheries and other agriculture related activities. The most of the population in village are involved in agriculture and non-agricultural activities like pottery making, weaving, carpenter, etc. But in recent time, their condition has changed. Due to division of land among the family members, the production and the earning of the family also decrease. This forced the people from the village to migrate to the city. Migration of farmers to the cities and town. As the opportunity of employment in rural areas decreases, many villages start moving towards cities and town in search of other job. These villagers who migrated to the cities, they lacked training and skill to take up job in factories or offices, so they were forced to work as a laborer in construction site. Some of them pull rickshaw, some of them work in dhabas, and even those who won't get any job or occupation, they were forced to begging. The mechanization of agriculture. Mechanization of agriculture means use of machine in agricultural activities. Machine can replace many workers. That means many workers, the job of many workers can be done by the machine. So many laborers lose their job, but the machine which is introduced in agricultural activities also create new occupations like the salesman's job of the machine, the mechanics, those who mend the machine if it malfunctioned, drivers, the diggers, tube well diggers and etc. That means machine which is involved in agriculture activities replace many of the job, but it also create many jobs in the villages. Operation Flood and White Revolution. White Revolution is related with production, the increase in the production of milk. Dr. Varghese Kurian, whose photo is also given in page number 59. This person, Dr. Varghese Kurian, was considered as father of White Revolution. So if we have to define what is White Revolution, the White Revolution is related to the milk production, processing, marketing, export and distribution of byproduct of milk like butter, cheese, ghee, skim milk powder, baby food, ice cream, condensed milk, yogurt, curd and lassi, etc. So the increase in the production of milk and milk related product and its marketing and is known as White Revolution. Earlier, India has large number of animals, but these milk giving animals were of poor quality. Vargas Kurian had replaced this less productive milk giving animal with high production or high productive milk giving animals. This high production of milk and a network of distribution of the milk and milk product was created by Dr. Varghese Kurian. He formed grid, a milk grid in 700 towns and cities. This prevented the seasonal and regional price variation of milk. The milk production white revolution had created many jobs of professionals like veterinarians, those who take care of the animals, or doctor doctor of animals, veterinarians, scientists, dairy farming machinery manufacturers, dairy cooperative consultant, etc. It's not only provide a professional opportunity, but it also requires some non-professionals. The occupation created by the white revolution for non-professionals like dairy farmers, those who milk the cow, the truck driver who transport the milk from one place to other, and the record keepers. The next topic is change in occupation. In old time, king provide an opportunity to the people. The employment was given by the king as a guard, minister, advisor, soldiers, weavers. These farmers who were involved in farming activities, they supplied their agriculture goods to the king. But in recent time, the occupation get changed in new development of new cities and towns. These new cities and towns were developed after industrialization. The new cities required the service of professionals like doctors, engineers, scientists, teachers, designers. These professionals, along with some unskilled job like unskilled workers, they provide their labor to the people living in the cities. These unskilled people are tailor, skilled peoples in the semi-skilled and skilled people living in the village in the cities are tailors, drivers, carpenters, and unskilled people like construction worker, rickshaw puller. All of them provide their labor to the people living in the cities. In recent revolution in the technology is a science or knowledge put in a practice to solve the problem and invent useful tools for the human being. The widespread use of computer, internet, mobile phones is a proof of how technology has influenced every section of the society all over the world. This new technology create thousands of new jobs in computer field, software developers, scientists, cloud architect, mobile engineers, etc. The cities or towns also need the service of non-professionals. The non-professionals can be divided into three main categories, where skilled laborers, Semi-skilled laborers and unskilled laborers. Laborers are tailor, carpenter, and plumber. Semi-skilled like bakers, cleaners, and washermen. Unskilled like construction site workers, coolie or potter, railway station, working in a railway station or other. Dignity of labor. Dignity of labor means we must respect all type of work, because all type of work is necessary in the society. It's not only the job of the engineer, scientist, and doctor is necessary, but those the work of a farmer is also very necessary, because without a farmer, doctor, engineer can't perform their activity in the society. Mahatma Gandhi was a very famous, or known as the father of the nation, used to do all his work, even cleaning of toilet, to prove dignity of labor. Next is gender discrimination. Gender discrimination means when the women or girls were discriminated or differentiated on the basis of their sexual difference, then this is known as gender discrimination. Gender discrimination is prevalent in the society where the women were not given their rightful place in the society. Even they were of 50% of the population. When the male from the village migrated to the cities, the women folk living in the villages take up the job of the male, like agricultural activities now being performed the female in the villages. But even though they were not given equal share in occupation, education, health facilities, or even the of parliament and the offices also, this unequal treatment given to them is known as gender discrimination. But now, when situation is changing and people living in the cities, here the women were getting education and involve themselves in many occupation which was earlier being leveled as male occupation, like engineers, doctor, teachers, architect, scientists. That means those educated girls and the women are taking up the jobs which was earlier being reserved for the male. So that even though the society performed gender discrimination, but in the changing society, the women are more and more becoming more progressive and taking up new jobs. But still in the rural areas, the women were working in matchbox making or the PT works, where they were still discriminated, where their job or their work is still neglected, but they are contributing or making an important contribution in the development of the country.